August 2017. A secure facility somewhere in the United States. A Green Beret sits across from Russian intelligence officers, sliding a USB drive across the table. On it, names, faces, locations, everything Moscow needs to dismantle American operations overseas. The Russians smile, count out another payment. The soldier pockets the cash and walks out. His name is Peter Debbins, and he's about to become the most compromising intelligence breach in Special Forces history. But here's what makes this different from every other spy story. Debbins didn't sell secrets because he needed money. He did it because he hated America, and he'd been doing it for 15 years before anyone noticed. How does a decorated Green Beret betray everything he swore to protect? And what finally brought him down? 1998, Chelyabinsk, Russia. 21-year-old Peter Debbins steps off a train into the frozen Ural Mountains. Snow crunches under his boots. The air burns his lungs. He's a college student from Minnesota, studying abroad, practicing his Russian. His mother was born in the Soviet Union, emigrated as a child. She taught him the language, the culture, the literature. Peter speaks Russian fluently, loves Dostoevsky, dreams of bridging two worlds. But Chelyabinsk isn't a tourist destination. It's a closed city, restricted to foreigners, home to military facilities and nuclear research. Soviet-era apartment blocks line the streets. Smokestacks belch gray clouds into grayer skies. What's a young American doing here? He's visiting his girlfriend's family. Her name is never fully disclosed in court documents. Let's call her Katya. They met in St. Petersburg months earlier. Smart, beautiful, connected. Her uncle works in Russian intelligence. Debbins doesn't think much of it at first. He's young, in love, naive. One night, Katya's uncle invites Peter for drinks. They sit in a cramped kitchen, bottle of vodka on the table. Conversation starts light. How's your Russian improving? What do you think of our country? Then it turns political. The uncle asks casual questions. What does Peter study? What are his career plans? Does he want to work for the government? Peter mentions he's considering joining the military, maybe army intelligence. The uncle's eyes light up. He leans forward. You could do great things for Russia, he says, refilling Peter's glass. Help us understand each other. Prevent misunderstandings. America and Russia don't need to be enemies. Peter, young and idealistic, doesn't hear recruitment. He hears collaboration, partnership, peace. The vodka helps. By the end of the night, he's agreed to stay in touch, to share information if he ends up in a position to help. No contracts signed. No cash exchanged, just a handshake and a promise between a naive college kid and a professional intelligence officer. That handshake will cost American lives. Debbins doesn't waste time. He returns to the United States, graduates from the University of Minnesota in 2000, and immediately enlists in the Army. But not just the Army. He applies for Special Forces selection, Green Berets. The most elite, the most trusted, the most classified. The selection process is brutal. Candidates drop like flies. Physical exhaustion, mental breakdowns, injuries. But Debbins thrives. He's smart, disciplined, physically fit. He speaks multiple languages. He aces the psychological evaluations designed to weed out unstable candidates. The security clearance process digs into his background. FBI agents interview his family, his friends, his professors. They find nothing alarming. Sure, his mother's from the Soviet Union, but that's not disqualifying. They ask about foreign contacts. Debbins mentions Katya, admits he dated a Russian woman, but he frames it as a college romance, nothing serious. He passes every check. In 2001, he completes the Special Forces qualification course at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He's assigned to the 10th Special Forces Group, specializing in Eastern Europe and Russia. It's perfect. The Army puts him exactly where he's most dangerous. He earns the Green Beret, the right to wear the long tab, the respect of his brothers. And the entire time, he's planning to betray them. 2004 Germany. Debbins is stationed in Europe with the 10th Special Forces Group. His unit trains constantly, preparing for potential conflicts in the Balkans, the Caucasus, anywhere Moscow might extend its reach. They run exercises in Estonia, Poland, Romania, places where Russian aggression is a constant threat. Debbins is good at his job. His teammates trust him. He's reliable in training, professional in briefings. Nobody suspects the hatred festering inside him. One weekend, Debbins takes leave. He tells his command he's visiting friends in Western Europe. He books a hotel in a major city. Court documents redact the exact location to protect sources and methods. He checks in under his own name. Rookie mistake, but he's not thinking like a spy yet. He's thinking like someone doing the right thing. A knock on his door. Two men in suits, Russian intelligence officers, different from the uncle but clearly connected. They're professional, friendly. They know his name, his rank, his unit. Mr. Debbins, we thought it was time we talked again. They invite him to dinner at a nearby restaurant. Private room, expensive wine. They catch up like old friends. How's the army treating you? How's your Russian? Then the questions shift. What operations is the 10th Group planning? What's the command structure? Who are the key officers? What equipment do you use? Where do you train? Debbins talks. He tells himself he's not revealing anything classified. Just general information, organizational details. Things they could probably figure out anyway. He's preventing misunderstandings, building bridges. In his mind, he's helping both countries. The Russians nod, take notes. They're patient, professional. They've done this before. At the end of dinner, one slides an envelope across the table. Inside, $5,000 in cash. Crisp, $100 bills. Debbins hesitates. Taking money changes everything. This isn't collaboration anymore. This is espionage. This is treason. But he's already here, already talking. The line's been crossed. What's the difference now? He takes the envelope, slips it into his jacket, walks back to his hotel room and counts the bills. More money than he's ever held at once. That's the moment Peter Debbins becomes a spy. Over the next decade, those meetings become routine. Every few months, Debbins arranges leave, travels to European cities, meets his handlers. Prague, Vienna, Berlin, possibly Moscow. Always different locations, always careful. He uses encrypted email accounts to coordinate, burner phones for brief communications. The Russians are professionals. They know how to run an asset. They never push too hard, never demand information he can't access. They build trust slowly, let him rationalize each betrayal. The questions get more specific. The payments get larger, $10,000 here, $15,000 there. Over time, he receives more than $300,000, sometimes cash in envelopes, sometimes wire transfers to accounts he controls. The money piles up, but that's not why he does it. Later, investigators will struggle to understand his motivation. He wasn't in debt, he wasn't desperate. He had a stable career, a decent salary. I thought Russia was awesome, he later admits during interrogation. I thought Putin was awesome. He doesn't see himself as a traitor. He sees America as the aggressor, Russia as the misunderstood victim. In his twisted logic, he's preventing conflict by helping Russia understand U.S. capabilities. He's building bridges. He's a patriot for two countries. But what he's actually doing is getting people killed. The intelligence Debbins provides is devastating. He identifies every member of his Special Forces unit. Names, photographs, specialties, families. He describes their training, their missions, their vulnerabilities, where they drink, who they trust, how they think. He hands over details about American operations in the Caucasus, the Balkans, Eastern Europe, where troops deploy, how they operate, who they meet with. Operational plans months in advance. He identifies local sources, civilians in foreign countries secretly helping U.S. forces, translators, guides, informants, people who risked their lives to assist American soldiers, people who trusted that their identities would remain secret. Some of those sources disappear. Court documents never specify how many. The government doesn't want to reveal the extent of the damage. But Russian intelligence doesn't take meetings with American assets to chat over coffee. They eliminate threats. They send messages. Debbins knows this. On some level, he must. But he keeps meeting, keeps talking, keeps cashing checks. The cognitive dissonance must be staggering. How do you reconcile being a Green Beret, sworn to protect your brothers, with selling them out? Maybe he doesn't think about it. Maybe he's so deep in his delusion that he can't see the truth anymore. In 2010, Debbins separates from active duty. His 8-year enlistment is up. He's tired of the deployments, the rigid structure. He wants to move on. His military career is over, but his intelligence value isn't. The Russians contact him immediately. Don't disappear, they tell him. Stay in touch. Maybe join the CIA, the State Department, defense contractor. Anywhere you can access classified information, Debbins tries. He applies to several government positions. The CIA recruitment process goes nowhere. State Department doesn't bite. Defense contractors pass on him. His value is plummeting, but he stays in the Army Reserve. Reserves have access, not as much as active duty, but enough. He continues attending drills, maintaining his clearance, attending briefings, 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. And after every briefing, he takes notes, mental notes, written notes, details to share at the next meeting. The payments continue, though smaller now, a few thousand here and there, enough to keep him motivated, enough to remind him whose side he's really on. By now, it's been over a decade, 15 years of treason, dozens of meetings across Europe, hundreds of thousands of dollars, countless secrets compromised. And nobody suspects a thing. His former teammates have moved on to other assignments. His commanders have retired. The Army's personnel system is massive, bureaucratic. People fall through the cracks until someone finally notices. 2018, Washington, D.C. The FBI's counterintelligence division receives a tip. Details remain classified, but investigators believe it came from a foreign intelligence service, someone who defected, someone who talked, someone who wanted revenge. A name surfaces: Peter Debbins, former Green Beret, current reserve officer, suspected of espionage. FBI agents pull his file. Green Beret, 10th Special Forces Group, Russian speaker, mother born in USSR. Multiple trips to Eastern Europe during his service. Red flags everywhere. How did this guy keep his clearance for 15 years? They start surveillance. They monitor his communications, his travel, his finances. Bank records show deposits that don't match his salary. Email accounts with suspicious encryption. Travel patterns that make no sense for a civilian contractor. They discover he's still meeting with Russian handlers occasionally, even though he no longer has valuable intelligence. Old habits die hard. Or maybe he's hoping for another government job, another clearance, another chance to be useful. But the FBI needs proof. They need him to confess. Circumstantial evidence won't cut it in court. They need his words. So they set a trap. October 2019, Northern Virginia. 2 FBI agents knock on Peter Debbins' door, early morning before work. He opens it, sees the badges, and his face goes white. He knows. Immediately, he knows. Mr. Debbins, we're with the FBI. We'd like to ask you a few questions about your time in the military. They're calm, professional. No guns drawn, no dramatic arrests, just 2 agents asking for a conversation. Debbins invites them inside. Stupid move, but he's not thinking clearly. His heart is pounding. His mind is racing. Should he lawyer up? Should he run? Should he deny everything? They sit in his living room, coffee table between them. The agents pull out a folder, start asking questions. Have you ever had contact with Russian intelligence officers? Debbins hesitates. I've met people over the years. Did you provide them with classified information? Silence. The agents wait. They're good at this. They let the silence stretch. Let him squirm. I want a lawyer, Debbins finally says. The agents nod. That's your right. But we should tell you. We already know everything. We have bank records, travel records, communications. We know about Prague, Vienna, Berlin. We know about the money. We're giving you a chance to cooperate. Debbins' resolve crumbles. He's not a hardened spy. He's not a professional intelligence officer trained to resist interrogation. He's a delusional idealist who convinced himself he was doing the right thing. And now, reality is crashing down. I need to think, he says. The agents leave their cards. Call us when you're ready to talk. 2 days later, Debbins calls. He agrees to come to the FBI field office. No lawyer, just him. Biggest mistake of his life, but he's panicking. They bring him to an interrogation room. Gray walls, metal table, recording equipment. 2 agents, same ones from his house. They start gentle. Peter, we know this has been weighing on you. We know you didn't set out to hurt anyone. Tell us what happened. And shockingly, he does. Peter Debbins isn't built for this. The pressure, the guilt, the fear, it all comes pouring out. He admits meeting with Russian handlers. He admits sharing details about his unit. He admits accepting over $300,000. He talks for hours, explaining his reasoning, his beliefs. He says he thought he was preventing war, building understanding. The agents take notes, record everything. They ask about specific operations, specific names. Debbins answers some questions, dodges others, but he's given them enough. At the end of the interview, they place him under arrest. Hands behind his back, metal cuffs clicking shut. Peter Debbins, you're under arrest for conspiracy to provide national defense information to a foreign government. The evidence is overwhelming. His own confession, financial records, travel logs, intercepted communications. He's finished. But here's the twist. Despite admitting everything in that FBI interview, despite confessing to 15 years of espionage, Debbins pleads not guilty when he's arraigned. His lawyers argue he was coerced, manipulated. That Russian intelligence exploited his naivety, his youth, his idealism, that he was a victim, not a villain. The prosecution isn't buying it. Coerced people don't cash $300,000 in checks over 15 years. Coerced people don't keep meeting voluntarily. This was a choice, repeated hundreds of times. The case drags through pretrial motions for months. The government offers a plea deal. Plead guilty, cooperate fully, and they'll recommend leniency. Debbins' lawyers advise him to take it. Going to trial means life in prison. March 2021, Federal Court, Alexandria, Virginia. Peter Debbins changes his plea, guilty. He stands before the judge in an orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed, and admits he conspired to provide classified information to Russian intelligence. He admits he betrayed his country, his unit, his brothers. His voice cracks. "I'm sorry for what I've done. I understand the gravity of my actions. I was young and stupid, and I've regretted it every day since." The judge isn't impressed. She's read the case files, seen the evidence. This wasn't a youthful mistake. This was calculated, repeated betrayal over 15 years. "Mr. Debbins, you were a member of the United States Army Special Forces. You took an oath to support and defend the Constitution. You violated that oath in the worst possible way. You endangered the lives of your fellow soldiers. You compromised national security, and you did it for money." Sentencing: 15 years in federal prison. No parole in the federal system. He'll serve every day. His military service, his Green Beret, his honor, all stripped away. Dishonorable discharge, loss of all benefits. He'll be 55 when he's released, assuming he survives prison. The courtroom is silent as they lead him away in shackles. The decorated soldier who became a Russian asset neutralized at last. But damage assessment takes years. How many operations did Debbins compromise? How many sources were exposed? How many people died because of information he provided? The Army conducts a review, classified to this day. They interview his former teammates, examine operations he was involved in, cross-reference dates of his meetings with intelligence losses overseas. Former teammates are devastated. Men who trusted Debbins with their lives now learn he sold them out for cash. Some are reassigned to different units. Some leave the service entirely, disillusioned. The psychological toll is immeasurable. One retired Green Beret speaks anonymously to reporters. "In Special Forces, we don't just fight for America, we fight for each other. That bond is everything." And he betrayed that. He betrayed us. There's no coming back from that. No forgiveness. He's not one of us anymore. The 10th Special Forces Group issues a statement. "One individual's actions do not represent the values of this unit or the Special Operations community. We remain committed to defending our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic." But the questions linger. How did this happen? How did a Russian sympathizer with a Russian girlfriend and a Russian mother get through Special Forces selection? How did he maintain a top-secret clearance for 15 years while meeting with hostile intelligence? The answer is uncomfortable, because he was good at his job. He passed every evaluation, excelled in training, earned commendations. He was a model soldier on paper. Nothing about his performance suggested disloyalty. And that's what makes insider threats so dangerous. They don't look like villains. They look like everyone else. They wear the uniform, salute the flag, deploy to combat zones. They eat with you, train with you, fight beside you. They're hiding in plain sight. Peter Debbins sits in a federal penitentiary now, probably the most hated inmate in the system. Prisoners don't like traitors. Neither do guards. He'll spend 15 years looking over his shoulder, wondering if today's the day someone decides to deliver justice the old-fashioned way. Meanwhile, the intelligence community adapts. New protocols for monitoring foreign contacts, enhanced psychological evaluations, more aggressive counterintelligence operations, polygraphs every few years instead of just at initial clearance. But Peter Debbins proved something terrifying. The system can be beaten. Not with sophisticated tradecraft or elaborate covers, just with patience, ideology, and a willingness to betray everything you claim to stand for. He wasn't coerced. He wasn't blackmailed. He wasn't desperate. He chose this, every single time. For 15 years, he chose Russia over America, money over honor, himself over his brothers.